Let's talk about this no contact order and warrant that Vincent Illuzi from Essex County, Guildhall, Vermont, okay? Knowing that I have filed, and this is why I filed protection from harassment against all of them, because it was brought to my attention just recently, as in this past week, that Vincent Illuzi, that stupid, long-nosed motherfucker, and that's not only my opinion, but he is the most frivolous, scamming, fucking piece of shit in that courtroom that I'm aware of. He caused so many fucking schemes and scams that it's not even funny. What about the fire in the Guildhall courthouse? It was supposed to be 2 out of 3 of my case records, blah, 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 the ones on Keene and Savannah. Why are they trying to cover shit up, okay? That's always been my question. It took me 14 years to get a case file, and that's only because Brianna insisted on getting her case file so that we could go through it and find out the story of lies. So knowing that we've got the story and book of lies, I have all the records, and we pointed out all the frivolous acts. We found all the statements and reports that were written and that were false and fictitious from police, detectives, state's attorneys, and Pam Taylor, Marion Robillard, Real Robillard, Jeff Keaton, Sidney Crossan, Mary Hare, everybody involved, okay? Those are just a few names. They wrote false statements against me and said that I had abandoned my kids back in 2007, which I didn't even live in the state of Vermont. We had already moved because previously they had destroyed my home and all of my belongings. So this is the first time in Vermont that they destroyed all my stuff. It was back in the summer of 2007, actually the spring. So it was May of 2007. It was also in the newspaper about this. And if anybody wanted to be fucking honest about anything, they would, instead of just watching these videos, they would come forward. Okay? So knowing that my home was vandalized, had to go stay with that stupid bitch Pam Taylor until the kids could finish school. Then Mary Hare had written statements with Pam and Amy LeClaire Basari, who used to feed the kids alcohol and manipulate them. She's the Vermont State Police out of Derby. She used to give the kids alcohol and stuff. And then, so they came and they took my kids from me. Well, guess what? Deja vu, they did it to Brianna too. They wrote bad statements against her, false statements, took fictitious reports and false statements against her. And what they did, they came in and they took her son. Well, then they made it so that she couldn't get back to her son. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. I did everything that I could. So when I tell you this, it's a repeat of history with the state of Vermont. Laura Wilson is Brianna's representing attorney. Right straight back until April of 2021 till this current time. Brianna had been asking her to assist her in doing the right thing, which was take her name out of no contact orders, take her name out of restraining protection orders, because it wasn't her handwriting and it wasn't her signature. So noting that the court has already acknowledged this, then how is it that Vincent Illuzi this week in a courtroom states that there was a violation of no contact order because Brianna was living in Florida with me? Well, first of all, you needle-nosed motherfucker, I don't live in Florida. I wasn't in Florida. And all the proof and the paperwork and the reports prove that. So I don't know why my daughter is so scared to come forward other than what they've done to her. But she could be in the right hands without the fucking evil people trying to destroy her if she would just get up and out of there, would be my opinion. But no, when you've been abused, you run to the abusers. And you don't believe in the ones that you should trust and that are out to help you, because you're going to continue to run to the abusers, the ones that hurt you. So with that being said, my daughter is stuck on the streets in Vermont. She was lured over there by Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services. She was taken to court for all these frivolous fucking charges after she had a medical breakdown when they took my grandson from her during Memorial Weekend after she had been beat up by Kevin, and it was on audio record. Statements were written. Statements were submitted to the police. The police showed up. They didn't do anything about it, and we're talking about Jeffrey Noyce in Vermont State Police, Derby Barracks. Now, knowing that Internal Affairs with Vermont State Police is very well aware of it, Attorney General, who oversees them, is refusing for anything to be done about it. Therefore, I am filing again against TJ Donovan and Vincent Illuzi, and I'm going to file criminal charges this time. So being Sunday, January 23rd, 2022, be watching for the fact that I am going to be writing my statement today, and I'm going to be submitting it tomorrow to the Vermont Law Enforcement Agency, as well as the FBI for Boston, as well as the Attorney General for Vermont, and as well as Washington, D.C., because everybody's going to know what they've done to me and my family. Northeast Kingdom Mental Health Services continues to put Brianna out on the streets. They refused to put her in a motel when there was motel space, and we already verified because I called, and as far as I know, Brianna called too and said, and I even called and asked if there were rooms for 211 people, and you can't discriminate. So they said, of course there is. Well, why is it that mental health services wouldn't help Brianna? Why'd they put her in a roadway inn where they know frivolous acts take place, knowing that she was a vulnerable adult? She is a vulnerable adult. She's been abused. She's been put out on the streets. She's been lied to. She's been manipulated, and all by state and government agencies. How about that?